and there are many steps to take on this journey. As you're aware, our administration, the agenda of our administration is a Themes Plus agenda, right? And the plus this time around is social inclusion, gender equality, gender equality, and youth engagement, right? And these are three dynamic moving parts. So as a ministry, like I said, we're doing so many things, but case in point, well, one of the things that we have come to realize is that as a government, as a ministry, if we are trying to do anything meaningful, data is key, right? Which is what drove us to embark on this journey, where we have realized that we keep talking about statistics and numbers. In Lagos, there are 29 million people in Lagos. 60% are youths, and all of that. But when we bring it to reality, this 60%, who are they? Where are they? What do they do? What are they doing? What are they trying to do? So we embarked on this journey. A lot of conversations have been going on, and we eventually pulled the trigger last week, when we set out on this journey to say, look, if you're a youth and you're in Lagos, we want to know who you are, right? And then we set out. We want to know who you are for so many reasons. For the government to be able to plan effectively for you as a youth. It's already been captured that the Themes Plus agenda is youth engagement. So if we want to engage the youth and empower them, we need to know who they are, like I said. So we've embarked on this journey. And very simply, if you're a youth and you're in Lagos, we want to know who you are.
Right. So knowing who they are means they have to come and register.
It means you have to come and register, right? There was a lot of controversy, when we started the journey, but it was intentional. Of course, we thought about it. We knew what we were setting up for. And, when we talk about our youths, we are very dynamic, we are very pushful. We ask a lot of questions. So all of this was envisaged. So while some thought we did not know what we were doing, everything had been thought up, and it was intentional. So what we did was we wanted as many people to start the process by coming to the Adeyemi Bero Hall in Alausa. Right. And the intention was, to gather as many of our youths there. You'll be amazed. I've been, for me, when people ask me what I'm trying to do within my 4 years, I say to them is youth engagement, right? And that youth engagement translates to so many things. And in the process of engaging, you'll be surprised that a lot of people don't even know what and where Alausa is, which is what drove this intentional drive to Adeyemi Bero. It gives some people the opportunity to actually come to Alausa. You want to benefit from the government. You want the government to be aware of you, but you don't even know where the government headquarters is. So let's drive as many as possible to Alausa, just to give them that opportunity to even meet the commissioner, meet the permanent secretary, know what Alausa is, know other ministries, and then they'll register. Again, this registration is in partnership with Lastra, right? So we started that drive to bring as many people to Alausa as much as possible. Then, of course, we will decentralize it. Coming to economic hardship, you mentioned, of course, it is almost impossible to bring over 40 million Lagosians to our Adeyemi Bero. We don't want it to be chaotic. And we know we don't even have the manpower for that. But again, as many as possible to come, and then we decentralize it. Decentralize it meaning, of course, leveraging on technology. Of course, and the manpower we have in the 57 local governments, right? We have Lastra offices in the 57 local governments. So the intention will be, once we finished this 1 week drive, each youth has the ability and opportunity to go to the local government, to go and register at the local government with the Lastra official. We're in partnership with Lastra, so they are fully aware of what we're doing. But again, we're also rolling out for the youth to be able to pre-register online as well, and then you will then go to your local government to do your capturing. So it's on twofold, but there's no way you do it without going to capture your fingerprints and your picture. Is like applying for a passport. Of course, in the last 1 week that we started, we've seen a lot of rooms for improvement, which of course we're taking on board. We're having emergency meetings every other day just to ensure that whilst we're capturing, we're fine-tuning, some of the processes that we found that have loopholes. Because there are always loopholes, right? But again, nothing is ever perfect. But again, the idea and the intention is we need to know how many youths are there. We found some youths that are saying, I don't have any business with the government, I'm not interested in anything to do with government. Yes, there's a large category of people that fall into this category. However, we're encouraging that even if you don't have any business with the government, we still want to know who you are.
Right.
As long as you're within the ages of 18 to 35 in Lagos State.
I just about to ask that now. What's the age category? But you just said 18 to 35. But so far so good. This is 1 week. How is the database registering? How's it going? So far so good?
Well, so far so good. We've done 5 days prior to the holiday. The first day we had about 78 people. Of course, it's the first day. It was a Tuesday. After
the holidays.
After the holiday. So, and it's been increasing, since then. We've done 5 days. We have just over 1,000, right? Wow. It's less than we thought, right? Because I personally would have expected a lot of people trooping in. But again, if you're in Ekpe or Badagry or Ikorodu, coming all the way down to Alausa in light of the economic hardship, I do, personally understand that. However, the youths within the environs as well. There are youths in Ikeja, youths on Allen Avenue, youths in GRA and all of that. We expected a larger turnout than this, but we would not give up. A lot of advocacy will continue to be done.
All right. So how long is this?
It would not end. It cannot end.
So it's a continuous process.
It would not end. It cannot end because, as you're aware, every single day somebody is leaving the age of 35 to 36. Every day somebody is becoming 18.
Right.
Every single day, right? So it is going to be ongoing. It's going to be continuous. However, we are also going to ensure that moving forward, any youth that wants to benefit from the ministry or from Lagos State, you must have your LASRA or have been captured in the Ministry of Youth and Social Development. That's one of the ways that we would ensure, that we capture everybody.
All right. So taking this to another level, Honourable Commissioner. So without doing it physically, of course, you're giving the reasons why you'd have loved this youth to come around. Are there ways we can expand this? Do we have an online registration that people can tap into and get this done from the tap of their fingers?
Yes, of course. I mentioned that earlier. You may have missed it, but yes, there would be a link. A registration link that would be shared. Like I said, we're fine-tuning things every single day as we're doing this. A link will be shared. You'll be able to go to a portal, pre-register, but again, you would need to go to your local government to go to the LASRA official to do your capturing of your biometrics. That would then help you finish the process. We have to do this because we must leverage on technology. In fact, the first day we put out our notification about this, I received so many calls and messages about why can't we make it online and all of that, but I couldn't really answer. But I just said to everyone, we've thought about it, but we need to have a starting point, which was at the Emiberu. But yes, we're rolling out online. Everything is going to be digital. Everybody has an Android, so you pre-register. But like I said, you must be able to go to your local government to finish that registration so that we can effectively capture you.
All right, then Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, connecting with development in Lagos. The YSSD template is our focus this morning, and I'm talking about the Ministry of Youth and Social Development right here in Lagos. The Honourable Commissioner for that ministry is with us, talking about Mr. Mobolaji Ogunlende. A flash update coming in says there's a lifeless body in front of Lafia G, that's in Total Filling Station, by Jendol Supermarket. All right, so it's there, and of course we're hoping that SEMO can help retrieve that body from where it is at that particular location. All right, lifeless body in front of Lafia G besides Total Filling Station by Jendol Supermarket. That's okay, it's at Upcon bus stop, by the way, and attention of SEMO is needed for evacuation. All right, so we've taken note of that one. Those of you making the journey to the island, it's still looking good on the Third Melon Bridge, both sides receiving with good vehicular flow, but heading towards Ojota, I understand it's a slow one this morning. If you're coming in from K2 and Mile 12 end, traffic managers there, keep us posted what's happening within that corridor. I would love to hear from you as well. Let's know what's going on. Now, Honourable Commissioner, let's still talk more about this database for the youths in Lagos. What do they stand to gain? What are their benefits if they register with the ministry?
There's a lot to gain if you register. But before we even talk about the gain, let's just even talk about it from the standpoint of a government.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for the government to be able to do things, for the government to be able to budget, every year we do a budget as a government. For us to, be able to budget for all of the events and programs that we have, we need to have an idea of the numbers of people we're expecting, the number of people we expect to empower, the number of people we expect to train. To do this, we need these numbers. That's number one. And then number two, we have a lot of programs. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, we had about 12 youths that we flew to Finland.
Wow.
Right? We flew them to Finland. They're part of our Ebile Youth Academy. It's a 2-year program which the Lagos State government has been running. Right, a two-year leadership program, and at the end of the leadership program, you get to go abroad for a cultural exchange program. 2 years ago, they went to Spain. Right, this year, when I resumed office, we went to Finland. The idea behind it is for you to be able to benefit from such a program. You must be registered with the Ministry of Youth and Social Development. That's just one example.
All right,
there's a big collaboration or partnership that we're fine-tuning that we're about to go on live. We have a mandate to train and develop over 1 million youths, right, in Lagos. It's big.
That's going to be huge.
It's going to be huge. The number is actually more than that. In Nigeria, they're looking at 10 million youths in Nigeria.
Right.
But the conversation I'm having with them is, let us even start with 1 million youths and let's see how realistic this program is. And I can tell you for free, it is going to be big. We're fine-tuning, the working agreements with the company. The company has 87 certified courses that you can take. So you don't even have to be. We have 2 types of youth, like as I like to call it. We have the formal and the informal, right? So you can fall into any bracket of this formal and informal. Informal in the sense that you may not have graduated in school, you may not have even gone to school, but you can read and write and you want to further develop yourself. Now, what we're looking at in this partnership is to see how we can empower youth, get them jobs. Everything is digital. So to make it simple, a lot of customer services are being done in India today. We're bringing that to Lagos. That's what we're trying to do.
All right, then.
So to do that and to be able to benefit from that, you get employed, you get paid, right? But as we're rolling out, again, one of the criteria will be for you to have registered with LASTRA and the Ministry of Youth and Social Development. So I think by the time a few people see this and they've applied and they are seeing the reality of such an opportunity, then I guess we'll get a larger turnout and people will then start to appreciate and understand why we are pushing for this database.
Let's take this call. Hello there, good morning.
Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Ogunwale.
Traffic manager Ogunwale from Kate.
Yes, go ahead.
Just to update you more about the accident.
Okay.
For now, transloading is very much still going on at the place of the incident.
Okay.
While we have only service lane and lay-by, we are making use now for the movement of the vehicles now.
Right.
The truck still occupied the whole main carriageway and affected the service lane. The backlog is just around the interchange now.
Okay.
While our men are there to the need to. I believe in a couple of time, the vehicle will be out of the road.
All right, Ogunwale.
After the traffic is finished.
All right, Ogunwale, can you hear me?
The vehicle is already on ground for the removal of it.
All right, can you hear me?
That is the update at the scene of the accident now.
Hello, Ogunwale, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so one of those that are coming in from K2 inwards or Jota, is there anything that is there? Because from our live cameras, we can see it's also slow too.
Those are coming from interchange towards K2.
No, those that are coming from K2 towards the interchange.
K2 towards my 12.
Towards the interchange.
Oh, towards the interchange, right?
Yes.
Our movement is normal right from my 12. Right from my Yana school. inward Ilele, Ikosi Junction, we have a moving traffic now.
Okay.
Likewise, from Ikosi, moving towards our fruit market, inward interchange, we are still having the moving traffic for now.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for that
Hello.
update. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, so that's what is happening. Transloading, he says, is going on within that particular corridor right now. We'll talk about that impediment that has been on ground for quite a while now. All right, 08099120777. I have the Honourable Commissioner for Youth and Social Development in the building, and we're talking about developmental issues for youth in the state, especially with the database which the government is really building to ensure that youth that are in Lagos can benefit maximally from government policy. So if you have any question or any contribution for the Honourable Commissioner this morning, feel free to connect with us as well. All right, 0809-912-0777 and 091-5387-7127. All right, so when are we going to be decentralizing all of this to the local governments? You've talked about the fact that you want them to come to Alausa, and that has been on for Tuesday through Friday. When are we expanding the scope to cover the local governments?
The scope is already expanded as it is, and people are still, the youths are still coming to Adeyemi Bureau.
Let's take this call. Hello there, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Victor.
Yeah, good morning.
And the Honourable Commissioner, good morning.
Good morning,
Dr. Busari.
Dr. Musari, nice to hear from you.
Yes, thank you so much, Honourable Commissioner. I like your passion. I can see your zeal. At least the last time you spoke, I heard what you said. I'm really happy having somebody like you as Commissioner.
Thank you.
In charge of youth ministry in Lagos State. You see, like they say, the youths are the leaders of tomorrow. And the percentage of the population, the youth constitute at least over 30-40% statistically. And every year, universities, colleges of education, polytechnics, they turn out graduates, and the jobs are not there. And that's why I want to commend you for what you are doing. That at least if the youth, if they can be, meaningfully engaged, definitely rate of violence, crime rate, etc., we kind of reduce. And that's why I want to commend you. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. It's just words of encouragement. He says Mr. Commissioner is really energetic, and he's saying kudos to what you are doing. Do you have any concerns for the Honourable Commissioner in terms of youth participation in governance and, of course, with the policies and programs which government is putting out? Feel free to bring that to Mr. Mobolaji Ogunlende this morning. So, when are we decentralizing? You say it's already decentralized?
So we did decentralization. I mean, it's an ongoing process. It's an ongoing exercise. It will never stop, at least for as long as we know. The decentralization is immediate, but what we need to do is roll out the official link. Right, roll out the official link so that people can start enrolling online. But like I said, and we have to communicate with the citizens as well. We have, as we're doing the initial manual process, we have realized some loopholes, right, which we need to plug and fix, which we're trying to do as quickly as possible, which is why we have not stopped the current process. But once the link is ready, we would, roll it out. Of course, radio, the conventional media, social media as well. And I'm sure once, one person gets it, everyone will start to forward it as the case may be. So that will be done hopefully by early next week once we are done with the holidays. However, the data, the biometrics capturing is ongoing now as we speak. As a youth, 18 to 35, just go to your local government, capture your LASRA, and they would also point you to how you can start your registration on My SD. It is essential, it is important. We encourage you, we beg you, we ask you, we plead, that you do this just so that we can capture you, even if you don't have, any intention of doing anything with the government. But it will get to a point in time where you to do anything in Lagos, you need to have your LASRA ID. And if
Okay.
you're between ages of 18 to 35, as you are registering for your LASRA ID, it would automatically direct you to Ministry of Youth and Social Development.
Which
We
is
will
good.
get there,
Right.
but of course, we cannot wait till everything is perfect, which is why we needed to start this, no matter how long it takes.
All right.
Let us just start it and keep it going and keep it moving.
Our caller from Beja is connected with us. Says, good morning, Traffic Radio. Without a stated date to end registration, won't it be taken with levity as there are no ends for registration? All right. So I think this is not very...
Yeah, I get the question. Yes, well, which is why I said, as a youth, if you want to benefit anything, from the government, it will get to a point in time you need to have registered. So even if it's always ongoing and you want to keep procrastinating that you can do it tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, it will get to a point in time if you really need to benefit from the government or you need something from the government, then it will prompt you to register. That's number one. And then number two, like I said, with the LASRA ID, right? This is something that is almost going to become essential to do anything. So we're finding ways to ensure that we encourage and we prompt people to register, which is the reason why it would always be ongoing. We will not capture it, everybody right here, right now. But then again, the program that I mentioned earlier on, which essentially would give about 1 million youths some sort of job and empowerment, right? By the time 10, 15 to 20 start this program, gets the job, starts to get paid, it will open like wildfire. And when I'm then telling you that to get on that program or to get that opportunity, you must register with LASRA and MySD. You have no choice but to do that because, like the first caller, Dr. Busari said, there are a lot of unemployed youths, and they are all looking for opportunities, and this is an opportunity that we're trying to create and bring to them. But we're only saying to be able to be a part of it, go and register. So I have no doubt once we roll out that program, which I'm excited about, it's never been done. And I'm glad it's happening under this administration, under my watch in the Ministry of Youth and Social Development. So once we do that, it will catch up like wildfire.
All right, we're going to track this from time to time. This is just the first leg of this conversation on radio. But because time not really our friend right now, we have to really begin to take that to the next level. So, Honourable Commissioner, what's the message? And of course, how can more youths tap into this so that they can benefit from what government is bringing on board?
Well, the simple message, is youth between the ages of 18 to 35, try and get connected, because it's only when you're connected that you can stay connected. Right, that's one. Number two, there are a lot of youths doing a lot of significant and remarkable things out there. At least in the last couple of months, I have personally been opportuned to be invited to a few of them. And case in point, and I'll tell you why I'm saying this. Case in point, last week I was in Bariga. Coach Dre, as they like to call him, he swam 11.8 kilometers, the entire Third Mainland Bridge.
Wow.
A youth, he came to my office, he invited me. He didn't ask me, he did not want any financial support. All he needed was encouragement. So I went there, Bariga, and he swam 11.8 kilometers. It took him 2 hours and 33 minutes, right? To swim. And all he was trying to do is to advocate mental wellness and, a lot of youth committing suicide. So if you are trying to advocate for that, as a commissioner for youth, the least I can do is to be there to cheer you up.
Right.
That's number one.
Okay.
There's a young lady, Pelumi, that is driving all the way from London to Lagos.
Okay.
She's probably going to arrive tomorrow or the day after. She's been on this journey for over 60 days. Again, another youth, Nigerian, I think Lagosian.
Right.
Again, we'll be there to receive her. And lastly, a young man as well, we always seem to forget when we say Ministry of Youth and Social Development. Under the social development, we have an agency, LASODA.
Okay.
Which a lot of people tend to forget. We only focus on the youths. But what we're trying to do now is to balance it across, the entire food chain.
Right.
As we're working with the youth, we're also working with our agency and also the other social developmental issues.
Persons living with disability.
And I say that because there was a young guy who was trying to advocate, do some advocacy on autism. Right? Again, in Iyaba Cinema, he was doing a premiere, invited me, I went. These are three classic examples that I'm throwing out because I want to use this to encourage our youths, to continue to push and ensure that impossible is nothing, right? And under this administration, we are leaving no one behind. So come out, embolden yourself, be brave, and just go for it.
All right, we'll leave it to that for now. Honourable Commissioner, because of time constraints, I want to appreciate you for making it through to the studios this morning. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
All right, I've been speaking with Mobolaji Ogunlende. He is the Honourable Commissioner for Youth and Social Development right here in Lagos State. We have to go. The program has been produced by Temidayo Anthony. I know that Anita Okiboke also in the building. And how can I forget the Director of Public Affairs for the Ministry of Youth and Social Development, Adiola Olabisi. Thank you so much for putting all of this together so that this can come on stream this morning. Our social media unit, Okpayemi Shodunke and Deborah, also your efforts have been appreciated. Our executive producer is Tayo Akonle. I'll be back shortly. My name is Victor Oteri. I'll be back for the benchmark very shortly.